Hi guys, this is Ray from TL, and in this video we're going to be covering the concept of counting relative strength days on a stock. So this concept really highlights the importance of keeping, relative RS watch lists while the market is in a corrective state. This graphic and our first example in this video is going to be DOCU, DocuSign, which exhibited relative strength during the Feb 24 to April 6 correction on the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ. The fact that DOCU is outperforming the markets during this phase about 61% of the time shows that there's institutional support for the name, and on a relative basis, it's outperforming the markets 61.3% of the time. So how do we define it, this particular formula, which says 19 RS days divided by 31 trading days? So 31 trading days was what it took us to get a follow-through day on the NASDAQ. So from about this Feb 24 mark to about the April 6 mark, that's 31 trading sessions in total. And when we look at the candlestick RS, so this purple is the candlestick RS. And if you count the days that DocuSign outperformed the S&P 500, we count up 19 out of 31 days DocuSign attempted to outperform the S&P 500. Now, this does not mean that you should be positioning in the name during a correction. What this means is that the name is trying to outperform the markets during a correct state. So if and when we get the follow-through day on the markets themselves, then we're allowed to look for a tight area and potentially position in the name once the market is in a confirmed uptrend. So what this concept is trying to show you is you can count the RS days from the start of a correction to the end of a correction. That will give you a certain percentage, so 61.3% of the time DocuSign outperformed the S&P. You can have this on your RS watch list, and if and when it's time, maybe position in the name once it gets really tight in this area and then goes on for a 190% move, given that the uptrend was very, very strong after the April 6th follow-through day. Our second example is going to be ZM. So ZM during the market's corrective state, we're still going for that Feb 24 to April 6 time frame, which is 31 trading sessions. And during those 31 trading sessions, Zoom outperformed the markets about 19 sessions out of those 31. So that was, again, 61.3% of the time it was outperforming the S&P 500. Now, once we get our follow-through day on the S&P or the NASDAQ, and the market is in a confirmed uptrend, this could be one of the names that should be on your watch list as a name that exhibited RS during the market while the markets were correcting. And if and when the market is back in a confirmed uptrend, one can position in the name, or at least have it on their watch list, so they can potentially position in such a name that went on to move again, a 300% move after a severe correction in the markets. The last example we're going to cover in this video is going to be SE. SE, again, we're still going for that Feb to April correction, and in that time frame, all these sessions of wide and loose action, which is considered emotional. When you're in a correction, one day is going to be up, the other day is down, and it's all over the place. But out of the 31 days in that correction, it outperformed the S&P 500 19 out of those 31 days. And when the market followed through and we were back in a confirmed uptrend, it went on to move 300%. Again, not every stock is going to be going for 300% or 200%. You have to really key in on the concept in and of itself, on what it's trying to tell you. It's trying to tell you that SE attempted to outperform during a correction about 19 of those 31 days. That's an institutional footprint in and of itself. Remember that institutions are base builders in the markets. It's not me and you. So we have to wait for this emotional action to die out and for institutions to continue accumulating stock and when the market is in a confirmed uptrend, one can attempt to potentially position in a name when the risk reward makes sense. So that's the concept of counting relative strength days on a stock during a corrective phase. Such names should be on your watch list while the market is in a correction. You should be keeping a list of names that are exhibiting RS and have a healthy list so that when the market returns back into a confirmed uptrend, you can potentially position in such names.